and we're a very young country. When it comes to instilling values that matter when it comes to handling money, looking at history for starters, have we done it right?
Thank you, Noah, for that question, because it actually touches the core of what you're to discuss today on Global Money Week. Just to take you back a bit, Global Money Week, why do we have it? It's basically an awareness week where we raise awareness on the importance of ensuring that young people from an early age actually are financially aware.
Yes.
Very critical, because what we miss is that awareness. And from a young age, we are not really geared up to tell our children and talk about money. We wait until when they're adults and then we want to talk to them about money. While from the beginning, had you talked to them about money, they would actually have gotten that awareness and be ready to handle money. Gradually, as they acquire those that knowledge, they need to build up skills. They need to build up a culture around it, how to manage money.
Yes.
So it's a whole set of things that needs to happen.
Definitely.
As you say, yes, this young person has grown. They've not been exposed to money. Suddenly they're exposed to money. And if they've not been able to transact, I can mention a few instances. At what point do young people really interact with a credit card? At what point do they interact with a debit card, a Visa card? It's when they're really into employment and they're earning a salary. But if we had socialized them early enough, they will not be in all these vices.
I mean, the way we handle money, is it a cultural thing? Or because even within society, for example, in the way we look at Kenya, we're very multifaceted. Some people learn business at a very young age, so their interaction with money, it's more fluid. Compared to others, maybe we get older, then we start interacting with money when maybe we are working. In terms of creating a culture, how does that happen? Is it something that comes organically, or we have to be very intentional about it?
No, when I look back at certain communities, and I don't want to mention names, certain communities are very good. You'll find a child, if the father is a shopkeeper, they start after school, they're in those shops doing and handling money, helping to do business. When they grow up, by the time they even finish in college, they can easily come back and assist that business to grow. But for us, when you go to school, the least bit of it is we're just looking for employment to get a salary at the end of the day. So you don't really interact with money. The only little money you interact with is your pocket money and the little money that you get for subsistence allowances or to just get you by. So that little interaction, when now you grow old and you have to start looking after yourself and maybe after your family, and this money starts checking in, you have really no clue of what money is all about. You just think it's just there to spend. But for somebody who's interacted with money, they can easily become an entrepreneur because they know how to look for it. They know how to sweet talk somebody to buy something so that they can make a profit. They know there's a ledger to be maintained, there are books to be maintained. If you have to go to the bank, there are records that will be needed. So from a young age, they're already socialized. But for us who are geared towards this normal education system, the earliest you will be interacting is when salary is checking into your account.
Yeah.
Because the other little money you'll be getting is just for usage, and you don't even maintain a bank account, or the little bank account you have is just for maintenance purposes, not really for anything
And
else.
I don't know whether, because I remember back in the day, there used to be these clubs in schools. Yeah, you will do projects. Then maybe one of the projects was to sell mandazi, and you calculate the money, then you remove this, what we need to put back into the business, then these profits, we need to maybe do this and that. And I think that was sort of inculcating that culture at a very young age. So in terms of changing our money culture, do we start at the household level? Or what is the greatest inroad? Is it the education system to start changing the minds while they're very young and they can be able to learn some of these things in the country?
I think it's a combination of many factors. Yeah, what you've mentioned. I look at CBC now making it very practical for these young people now to basically be able to do their own things around their surroundings. And when they go back home, they involve the parents. I think parents have been cut off on engagement with their children for so long.
Yes.
So this is opportunity. Start bringing in this aspect of taking care of money. When they go shopping together, the child will see, yes, we're shopping for this. And the CBC system is actually trying to encourage this interaction, both parents and the children. So when that comes about, the child will be able to learn.
Okay.
That's the time to introduce them on money. So when you go shopping or doing something, if they are asking for ice cream or sweets or something, tell them they can deny themselves that, so that they can build that culture of denying themselves and have that discipline of saying, yes, today I can forgo this ice cream for something better tomorrow. So as you look at what the Global Money Week is all about, is planning today so that you can plant something tomorrow.
Definitely.
Yes.
And briefly as we finish, the overall impact of this to our economy, what does that portend briefly?
You can see the impact that we've seen on the Hustler Fund, the issue of saving that is already defined in the product, and it's a compulsory savings. So you can imagine if people voluntarily just came, not just to borrow, but to save. When I look at the amounts of cash that this young generation are spending on betting, when I look at some of the figures, it's mind-boggling. I think per year, I was reading somewhere, it's around 160, 170 billion a year. So you can imagine if somebody decides, instead of betting today, just half of what you're betting today, that money would be seated at the central bank or somewhere, earning interest and helping the government do very big infrastructure projects. Just half of the money that we are using to do betting. So you can imagine that is only what's been captured.
Yes.
What else has not been captured? What are these other expenditures and expenses? Because people don't know better.
Okay.
People think they want to start saving when they're earning 1,000 or more. But you need to start when you're earning 100 bob so that you can build that culture. Start small, your 50 bob, your 100 bob per day, and you'll be surprised.
Wow.
Yeah, you can tell you a figure. If you're saving 100 bob a day, in 30 days, you'll be having 3,000. In a year, you'll have 36K.
Yes.
And then add interest on top.
Okay.
In 5 years, you'll be almost 500,000.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's incredible, man. So it's time to change the culture. And I believe, as you've said, Global Money Week is geared towards that. Mr. Raphael, always a pleasure talking to you. And this good. I'm glad you've spoken that we need to be intentional about this at our household level, at our school level, to change this mindset and start small. Start where you are actually and build on it. All right? Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you, Noah.
All right.
It's great having you.
Yeah, Mr. Raphael Ekulol, who's the MD Post Bank, saying it's time that you start saving. Yeah? And yes, it's never too late to begin. Come on, guys. It's Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. I know you have plans for Friday. Yeah? Sit down with yourself on Thursday and ask yourself, okay, this Friday money I'm going to spend, can I just take half and put it somewhere and forget about it? That's how we start this culture. And that's why we have Global Money Week. That's how people start that culture of saving. Well, that's all for today on Business Today. It's been such an awesome show from my perspective. I hope you've enjoyed. My name is Noah Kimboy. Up next, you have Dear KTN. Stay tuned. Thank you.
Rukia Ali has always looked forward to the day she will carry her baby through the gates of Kenyatta National Hospital to the waiting arms